Welcome back, sir.
Thank you, Rajni ma'am.
Sir, we'll start soon.
Sure, we can start whenever you want to have. I'm ready.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay. Welcome back all. Let us start the session with another interesting topic, that is IoT in communication system. So without wasting much time, I request Dr. Anand Nair sir to start with the session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Rajni ma'am, for the second session. And I'm indeed very lucky that this is going to be a great platform for all of you. Because today, what I'm going to discuss, everybody, you can say that even sometimes when people ask me that, sir, how you managed to design this communication system, what was the role model behind that, and how you manage the things, how you manage the challenges, sometimes I don't have the answer. I just say that, yes, it was a big thing to discuss regarding the hard work that me and my team have done for about 3 months, and we finally attained this communication system. So everybody, welcome to session number 2 of this FDP program. In this session, I will be discussing the future of communication standards and future of IoT-based communication. Now, before I dive into the session, you will all agree on these points. Now, if you talk of sensor communications, now imagine today, if you put a Wi-Fi router in your home, which is having around, I can say, 700 to 2.4 Mbps connectivity. We imagine that in India, we have about 2 to 10 Mbps. Now, can you agree with me that all your smart home appliances can work without a latency? You will say not. Wi-Fi is just a standard through which all the communication channels and gateways will communicate. Now, imagine if you talk of IoT, I'm not talking of simple sensors, I'm talking of millions of sensors. Now, for that millions of sensors, everybody, the today's communication standard, like you talk of Bluetooth, Zigbee, Wi-Fi, WiMAX, no, it is not. It is not that standard that we require for IoT in communications or the communications towards IoT. So, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to give you a new type of technology that maybe some people have heard of or some people have not heard of. So, if you can on the chat, can give me an answer. How many of you have heard about this type? This called LoRa communications. How many of you have heard about this technology? Yes or no? Just type and please participate, because in this session, I would like to participate with all of you and try to make it more informative. So how many of people have learned about this technology and how many of you are working in LoRa communications? So 2 people have read. Okay. What about other people? Please hurry up, because I want to communicate many things today. So I'm getting the positive answer of yes. That is good. Okay. Anybody else want to participate? We have 23 participants here. Okay. Okay. So the answer is coming like yes, of course. But maybe some people are saying that maybe they have not understood or maybe they don't know. So everybody, in this lecture, we will be talking about LoRa communication and even other communication standards that will be facilitating IoT. Now, I'm talking of not a simple thing. I'm talking of an entire ecosystem. Like suppose if you talk of a project like, okay, we want to cover a large agriculture farm. We want to have communication with different sensors. Soil moisture sensor, plant disease detection sensor. We have agri-bots. We have other infrastructure, which is autonomous technology. We want to cover the entire agriculture field. Now imagine I want to monitor the entire infrastructure of the building. I want to monitor the city, the smart city infrastructure. So over there, a simple Wi-Fi or WiMAX or Bluetooth will not work. So ladies and gentlemen, let us talk of a new technology or new IoT-based communication technology that is known as LoRa. So today in this lecture, I will be not classifying on 3GPP standard. I will be talking towards non-3GPP standards. So everybody, I'm having more slides with me. So I will be putting up all these slides one by one. So let's talk of LoRa. So many people say LoRa has no full form, but the answer is it is called long range. LoRa is basically a standard. It is not a protocol. It is actually a standard. Like we have Wi-Fi, we have Bluetooth, we have Sigfox. They are all the standards. And after that, we make them a medium to transmit the data from one device to another devices. And we put the various ecosystem of network devices so that the data can be facilitated from the sender to the receiver and from receiver to the other channels. So I will be talking towards LoRa, and then I will coming towards LoRaWAN, and then we will be discussing something practical things on this session. So let us talk of Internet of Things. So everybody, you will all understand, I'm talking of not IoT today in 2021. I will be talking towards Internet of Everything. Internet of Everything is going to bypass IoT, or already you can say it has bypassed in 2020. Now we are talking of Internet of Everything. When we talk of smart cities, when we talk of buildings, we talk of agriculture, healthcare, we talk of military communications, battlefield monitoring. So all these type of activities or mission critical applications requires tons of sensors. So for that, we don't have to rely on IoT. We have to go towards IoT with more advanced, that is called the technology or terminology, that is called Internet of Everything. But still, IoT is more than a buzzword. Tons of things are getting connected, tons of things. So imagine a smart home where even the tube light has a sensor. Your Alexa, your Siri has some sensors. Your smart television, smart kitchen appliances, even your vehicle technology, all will be connected with sensors. So tons of things are getting connected and they will generate and receive the data. The only thing is the data. And today I'm not talking of simple things like we have the fog computing, we have cloud computing, we are not moving towards edge computing also. But the only thing that we try to discuss less in the world of IoT is communications. So how this data, how the sensors will be able to communicate, if we have tons of sensors in the real time, how these sensors will collect the data and they will give the data to a location where internet connectivity is having a problem. So if you talk of a wireless sensor network today, the only problem is that every sensor needs to be connected to the internet. But in LoRa communication, the sensors need not to be connected to the internet. They just require an antenna, a LoRa antenna, and they require a gateway. Gateway will collect the data from the nodes and all the data will be connected to the internet, which means with one gateway, millions of nodes can be connected. And that is why we can say that LoRa communication-based communication system is the best system for IoT based when there are millions of sensors or thousands of sensor nodes for monitoring. And even, of course, the common IP bearer networks will not be enough because if you talk of sensors, if I'm talking of 4,000 sensors in agriculture field, I cannot rely on 4,000 IP addresses. We require only one, which means one gateway, tons of sensors, and all the sensors data will be proxied by one gateway as a common gateway for the sensors, and we try to communicate with the cloud. So the problem space of IoT, this is exactly the problem, everybody. We all talk of security and privacy. We all talk of some other things, but nobody talks about the actual problem space. The problem is that the extendability, the scalability that IoT has, we have to think of new types of communications. So the problem space in IoT is we have many sensors, low bandwidth. Ultimately, we have unidirectional communication. And of course, the sensor need high battery life and we cannot operate every time with Wi-Fi. Now imagine a remote area where there's an agriculture farm and I have given you a project that, okay, sir, we want to monitor the agriculture farm. We want to monitor the soil moisture. We want to monitor the temperature. But the problem is in that area, we only have we can provide only limited connectivity. We can't provide every sensor with the internet connectivity. So for that area, that sensor communication network will not work out. So for that, we have to think the next generation communication standard, maybe the LoRa. So the most important thing that can address the need, so you can say that today I'm going to talk of non-3GPP standard. I'm working on LoRa and I will be showing about LoRa today with practical things, what I'm using, what I'm having, and what we have discovered just 2 months back. So we talk of the new competing technology for communication technology. So forget about Wi-Fi, forget about Bluetooth, forget about RF. I'm talking of LoRa, long range, and even the standard that will able to implement that communication system, that's called long range wireless area network, or you can say a wide area network or wireless area network. We even talk of Sigfox. That is even with base of subscription, but still India is not ready. India is only ready with LoRa. Cellular communication, but we don't talk of 4G. Maybe we talk of 5G plus, or maybe NB-IoT. NB-IoT is going to be the standard which will be non-3GPP. Zigbee, 6LoWPAN, Wi-Fi Halo, which is known as 802.11h, Helium, and of course, DAS7. But the only thing, what I would like all of you to please focus on this lecture, maybe I can focus on all the technologies, that's not a big deal, but I would like to focus on the main technology which I'm working and I'm actually implementing in mission critical applications, that is agriculture monitoring, health monitoring, and even of course drones. That is what my area right now, to integrate LoRa communication in drones for long range connectivity with the drones. So technology comparison, you can see that as per Microchip, I will be telling you about Microchip and Samtel companies, what they're doing in LoRa after some time. So you can say that the only thing that makes LoRa, you can see that in terms of sensitivity, we have minus 136 dBm, which is quite good. Link budget, you can say it is 150 dB. Data rate, it is about 300 Bps to 10 Kbps. But I would like to tell you everybody that this was even a big drawback for LoRa, which me and my team have answered the problem, and we have even reported it to the LoRaWAN Association, and that's why we got the patent. Now we have already applied for the second US patent. And even the data transfer rate is about 39 to 134 megampere, and receiving antenna is about 14 megampere, and the battery life, you can see that it is about 18 months, 90 months, and over here we enjoy 105 months. Everybody, LoRa is actually designed for energy efficiency, and even the most important thing for LoRa is security. All the things that actually are a problem in communication channels or communication medium in the current world, including Wi-Fi, WiMAX, it is actually solved with LoRa. But the only problem in LoRa was limited data transfer or low speed data transfer that I have solved 2 months back. So LoRa technology, let us talk of LoRa technology. You can see that it is working on ISM band, which is about 902 to 928 megahertz. So what band is available in the country, you can check it. But in India, we have 868 and 912. So the most important thing is what type of frequency shift. So you can talk of drones, they are using FHSS or DSSS. Over here, we have chip spread spectrum. That is CSS. This is the new type of spectrum that actually accommodate tons of sensor-based communication. And the range, you can say that we have tested the range. It is about 56 kilometers, 74 kilometers, and 103 kilometers. But the maximum ever achieved is 702 kilometers. Now imagine if I'm talking of a smart city connectivity and the city is about 45 kilometers long, so Wi-Fi will not be working there. You can't put Wi-Fi routers or repeaters everywhere on the road. You can't. So that will be bullshit. So like in 5G, we will also have this particular problem that 5G require lots of antennas, and how we can make our cities as a 5G antenna city. And the only thing is that in terms of rural areas, that was the main issue that we are solving, that is 10 to 20 kilometers. So that's my area of specialization, that how we can make the better connectivity and long range connectivity in rural areas. So LoRa communication specifies, you can say, lower frequency. It's working on lower frequency. Of course, we are not going off gigahertz. We are talking of megahertz. Forward error correction. It means we have proper acknowledgement, modulation, chip spread spectrum. And of course, we have enormous link budget. And the most problem was lower bit rates. But we have improved from BPS to KBPS. And now we are working on Mbps. So long battery life. Why we require LoRa, everybody? Why we are talking of sensor communications and IoT? Even I have published lots of paper that we are improving the energy efficiency of IoT. But the most important thing, why we are preferring LoRa? Because LoRa is actually designed for energy efficiency among the sensor nodes. You can imagine the time that even we have made the sensor work with a very heavy load, and even we are checking the sensor after 6 months, the battery is not even less than 10 to 15%. Battery level and the energy level of the nodes with LoRa communication, it is improved to more than 57%, or I can say 60%. So repeat after me. This is a LoRa mantra, everybody. LoRa is not Wi-Fi. It is not Wi-Fi. If you say that, okay, sir, we have an antenna, we are putting the sensors, we are putting the antenna on the sensor, and the sensor is transmitting the data via the LoRa antenna to the gateway, it is not like Wi-Fi. LoRa will not provide any IP interface in Linux. it can only work in Windows. That's the problem. But we are also working on this type of aspect, that how we can make it open source also. So LoRaWAN. Let's talk of LoRaWAN. So how you will implement LoRa in the real time? We have to make a LoRa, which means long range wide area network. Now imagine if I give you a project that, okay, sir, you are a wireless expert. Let's make a LoRaWAN based communication standard for a agriculture farm, or maybe for industry monitoring, or maybe we can go for cold storage. We have to monitor all these sensors like temperature, humidity, other types of varied sensors, and we need to get the data immediately. So today, if you have a sensor network, you have to connect every node with the RF communication or ESP8266 module to the cloud, and then you will able to get the data. But now I'm not talking of that every sensor to be connected. That's why they use the internet. They don't go on sleep mode, and they keep on working, and the battery life is down. I'm talking of that the sensors will operate as an intranet with a gateway, and gateway will be only connected to the internet, which means all the data will be transmitted at one time from the gateway to the node. I will be showing you the architecture also. So LoRaWAN, it includes everything. That is the nodes, the gateway, the packet switch network, the network server, and of course, the application server. So these are the nodes, everybody, that you will deploy on the smart city, and they will be only connected to the gateway that will be taking the data from the sensors at regular intervals, and it will be connected to the application server or even to your network server. So it will like a packet switch network, like we talk of the like the Ethernet connectivity. And we require a network server. Of course, we require that. So you can see that this is one of the architecture, and you can see that these are the end nodes. We have some sensor on the transportation, on the bin, and even on smart grid, and even on animals, and of course, industry. All these sensors are generating the data, and that data is gained to the gateways. So if you make all types of sensors, you make 50,000 sensors, 80,000 sensors, all that sensors will only give the data to the gateway, and that gateway will be connected with some internet interface. Maybe it's a 4G. I will be showing you later on. Or even you can connect it to the wireless or Wi-Fi. With one IP address, it will be connected to the cloud. And that's the beauty of LoRaWAN, that we don't have to worry for any gateway. And of course, let me tell you, it is so much important because it can transmit the data to the cloud, and even we can use cloud to control our sensors. It's called a bidirectional communication. In sensor network, it is called unidirectional, which means sensors are deployed, and if there is a problem in the sensor, you have to physically go there. But no, it is not there. You just have to connect to the gateway, open that sensor node MAC address, and after that, you can improve the communication. You can even update the communication standard. So everything is bidirectional, works two ways. That's the main important of LoRaWAN. So LoRaWAN, it is actually secure, and I have already told you that as compared to other wireless standards where we only use SSL, over here we have TLS, which means that even we can have the packet network, which is HTTPS and even MQTTS. And of course, we are using AES, encryption. Believe me, everybody, LoRa is actually designed as a secure communication channel for IoT. So if you are using LoRa in terms of IoT projects, believe me, no need to discuss security and privacy, because it is already over there, and there is no type of eavesdropping attack, man-in-middle attack, and even there is no sort of frequency attenuation attack. All types of attacks we have simulated. We have done the attack in the real time with Kali Linux. We have done the penetration. I was not able to successfully hack any LoRa communication network. So you can say that in terms of uplink data, we use the devices with the commands called AT. And the most important thing is that all the LoRa communication, we are not talking of embedded C++. If you talk of Arduino, Raspberry Pi, or any other embedded board, you only need embedded C++. But in LoRaWAN communication, everybody, the entire language that we use is Python. So that's the reason it is more high level. And of course, we have to remember the mantra again, that it is not a Wi-Fi. It is not having a standard IP interface for Linux. Everything is connected and controlled via the sensors to the gateway, gateway to the application server to the network server. The most important cloud that you can see, that if you talk of any IoT-based project, most of the people use the ThingSpeak. It's okay. ThingSpeak is okay. Even I love ThingSpeaks. But the only thing is ThingSpeak is having some privacy issues. But over here in LoRa communication, if you deploy LoRa sensor nodes, we have the free and better application server integration with the Things network. So if you're working on an IoT project, many people ask me, sir, what we can change, what we can make the project different. So I always tell them, add some AI, add some big data analytics, which is not possible in ThingSpeak, but it is possible in the Things network. So even it's a cloud platform which can connect to your gateway and to your sensor node. And of course, you can make your network possible and even the communication channel very possible. So this is one of the node example, everybody. I will be showing you those nodes because I work on LoRaWAN also. So this is one of the Vistro LoRa tracker, which is low cost and it is having less than $70. And you can see that it is having some sensors inbuilt, the GPS sensor, temperature, humidity, pressure, gas, accelerometer, GPIO, battery input, output, and even it can be using the add command set. Add command set means that you don't need to connect it to your computer, then you have to give the commands. No, if it is connected, you can use your gateway to just get the MAC address, and with that MAC address, you can send the commands to them. That's why it is called bidirectional communication. And even it is called the LawPy, which is known as a Python-based microcontroller. And of course, it's an interpreter. So if you talk of any LoRa-based communication, your entire programming will be done in Python. And this is one of the console that you can see with simple 10 lines of code. I can make any node run and it can connect to the gateway and the data will be coming in the live modes. And the data can be, you can say above, you can say 57 kilometers or 80 kilometers. I can even give the command. I can even get the data. I can do anything on the LoRa communication gateway. The Things network is so smart that it actually has an artificial intelligence in order to make everything facilitated like a magic. So this is the TTL console way. You can see that with the MAC address only, we can able to connect everything. We can see the summary. We can do the payload. We can even configure the channel. We can even configure the gateway location. Everything can be configured with just a simple line of code. And believe me, everybody, with just a temperature sensor. So if you talk of a Raspberry Pi or Arduino, you need at least 15 to 20 lines of code. But over here, we just have to pass 2 functions, which means coding becomes very, very less. Very, I can say almost like less. So now I go to my presentation number 2. So everybody, this was a basic introduction that what exactly is LoRa and LoRaWAN. So now I will be coming towards the future of intelligent wireless communication for IoT. So in the future, everybody, as you will all agree with me, that today if the sensors is so much, in the future, you can't accommodate Wi-Fi or RF. You can't afford this type of outdated communication for smart cities or IoT. We have to think something different in terms of communication. So that's why LoRa will step in. So Internet of Everything, everybody, you will be stunned that there was a time when even some people from NVIDIA, they told like ray tracing and this type of things will take 10 years, but ray tracing has arrived in gaming and everything is now in PlayStation 5. So similarly, even as a computer scientist, some people used to say me that flying cars and even this Internet of Everything, they looks like magic. They will require 10 more years or 15 more years, but it has actually arrived in 2020. 2021, we can say it is called Extended Internet of Everything, or can say EIOE. So the only thing is that the decade is too long when only computers and human beings were there. But in the near future, the internet will also consist of devices. So if you talk of smart TV, if you talk of your kitchen appliances, if you talk of your wristband watches, these devices are actually using the internet. For ISP, they are the devices. So which means that millions of devices are being connected because of wearable technology. And we have to think with out of the box in terms of IoT. And you can see the data, everybody, that by 2020 itself, 50 billion devices are connected already. And you can say that by 2021 itself, we can expect more than 1 trillion devices by the end of this year. Now, imagine how much internet and how much data centers we require. Maybe edge computing will also break through in next 3 or 4 years. So maybe you can say that 6G people expect by 2027, but we expect that maybe by 2023, we will have the live technology for 6G. Maybe 5G will not be implemented much, but 6G will come sooner. So IoT and machine to machine, beyond the hype, you can say that still in terms of Gartner hype cycle, Internet of Things, and even the wearable user interfaces, smart sensors, data analytics, they are on the rise. And of course, we require a strong communication medium like 5G and LoRa communication to be understood very seriously. So IoT at a very early stage of investment, you can see that Google, Nest, Aram, and Intel invested. But nowadays, everybody, Google and Microsoft, they are there. But lots of tons of other companies, they are investing into IoT, or I can say IoE. And even you will be surprised to note that maybe in the near future, you can see over here that when it comes to cellular IoT, that is NB-IoT, Narrow Broadband Internet of Things, we can say that maybe the Sigfox and even this AACTLT and QoViso will become even $34 billion industry. These are all the standards. These are all the new technologies that will come and boost up the communication technology for IoT. So overall IoT market forecast, everybody. So who is the leader? Who is going to lead the market by 2025? We don't say it is entertainment. We don't say it is smart homes or smart cities. We say it is industry. The industrial IoT is actually leading the market. You can see that there are 9 settings across. You can say that it can lead to the market of $11.1 trillion. Vehicles, home, offices, factories, retail environments, work sites, human and fitness. And of course, we buy the bands today. I'm using Apple Watch from last 4 years. And believe me, I'm very happy. I cannot move out of my home without my Apple Watch. Logistics, and of course, cities. But the most important thing is that in industrial Internet of Things, when we come towards cyber physical systems, when we come towards intelligent connectivity with 3D and additive printing, we need to update our communication standards with LoRa communication or Sigfox. Maybe that's the reason, everybody, that the factories of the future will be the remote factories where you don't have to be present physically. You can connect all to your factories at the remote location. All the robotics and machines will be working and indulging with you. They will be giving you the standards at what exactly is happening inside production. And even if there is a burnout, they will talk to you. Machine to machine interface. So in terms of IoT use cases, you can see there are lots of use cases. Many people ask me that, sir, where we can do our research in IoT or IoE. And I say that whole world is open for you. Smart grids, industrial environment, cities, wearable technology, agriculture, and of course, security. So these are the hottest areas, but the only thing is that where you will connect the sensors. Sensors are many. I can make a sensor node of temperature and humidity, but how they will communicate? So the answer will be only LoRa. Because in the future, you talk of that smart city technology has just started, but we are not facing the problem of communication because communication is limited because we have limited number of nodes. Imagine after 5 years when the number of nodes becomes 20 times better. So for that, Wi-Fi will come down and we require LoRa communication for remote connectivity and even for facilitating tons of nodes. LoRa is actually designed to support millions of nodes. LoRa communication network is actually highly scalable, flexible, and extensible. So these are some of the projects that you can see with Smart Cities by Envo. And this is the smart bin through which the waste is collected. And all the bins talk to the remote data center that we are full. And either we can, you can take it out. So this is a very good project in the smart city like India, where dustbins are there and dustbins can talk to the municipal corporation that we are full, we are not full. So with this, with all the sensors, they can get the data every minute and they can go for the pinpoint location, which bins needs to be cleaned out. And this is a very good project, very simple and very effective for real-time critical application. This is a geolocation, everybody. I'm working with one of the project in University of Malaya in Malaysia. The problem is that if you go for shopping mall in Malaysia, we have the problems that children gets kidnapped and GPS system is not effective inside the buildings. So for that, we are actually making LoRa communication technology to pinpoint the location of the child with a tracking system, and the parents can keep an eye on their kids. And that is so effective that even you can talk to your child. You can say track your child about 100 kilometers away. So that's what we can say is making us better and better. And this is how we can make the remote factories even operational in terms of supplies and logistics. And this is again the fire alarm system where buildings have tons of sensors, tons of tons of flows. And for that, it is difficult for the people to capture the fire at a very early point of time. And that is what we have to go for that. And you can see, and you have seen the movie called Skyscraper. So in the Skyscraper movie, the entire communication system that was actually helping the building to remotely control their sensors was actually controlled with LoRaWAN communication. So IoT segment TradeWash. Now this is important thing that you can see from LoRa Alliance. You can see that if you talk of short range communication devices like Bluetooth, Zigbee, and even Wi-Fi, you can say they are well established, good for mobile devices in home, but short range. but not good is battery life and long range. Now, if you talk of cellular communications, like you talk of 3G, 4G, or 5G, good for long range, high data rate coverage. And problem is battery and cost. But now let's come to LoRa. Why LoRa is the future, everyone, not only for IoT, but for everything. See this: long range, long battery, low cost, positioning, and even emerging physical solutions. And even the most important thing is that now it is not even good. I'm going to show you my patent. The data rate has been improved. And I have already got the confirmation that my standard is going to be implemented in LoRa. I will be telling you about myself, what I have done. And believe me, I'm very happy to announce you today. I'm just telling you one important thing, that right now I'm the only professor in the planet who has the patent of LoRa communication apart from industry. Only I am available in the world. None of the professor in the planet or any researcher has a patent on LoRa communication with their own technology segment. I have my own technology segment, my own technology transfer to industry. So the
Congratulations. So very happy and proud to hear you, sir.
Thank you so much. I will be showing you that standard, sir. Now you see, everybody, now you will all agree with me. Now, if you talk of smart grids, now if I talk of that, if in a city like Bombay, where there is lots of people have the smart meters, now imagine how much people need the smart meters and how much nodes are required. So can you suffice that Bluetooth can be okay for you? No. Wi-Fi can be okay for you? No. WiMAX can be okay? No. 4G and 5G, okay, but not very okay. But that's the reason, everybody, that if you talk of a bigger project implementations, you have to come towards future communications, that is Sigfox, LoRa, and of course ONRAM. But I will not talk of ONRAM today because I'm having limited time, but I will request the management of this institute that you can have my another lecture on ONRAM, that what I am working and what standard I'm working on that. So the only thing is that we have the deeper coverage, battery life, and of course, very low cost. Security is, of course, will be there. Now we talk of the next thing, that is 4G and beyond, LTE MTC. I will be talking about that. Now it will be an eye-opening session for you. Do listen to this. Now everybody, can anybody tell me, you can unmute yourself, when you can see 5G coming in India? Can anybody tell me the answer? When do you expect 5G to come in India?
22, sir.
Yeah, 22.
22.
2022.
22.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
But but first of all, I would like to give you one important question, because it's a public platform, but don't hesitate, because I'm a true person. I'm a computer scientist. Let's face the fact. Now, can anybody tell me that, are you enjoying the actual 4G speeds in India?
Very limited, sir.
Very limited, which means
There is
that
a problem.
suppose you go near the antenna, maybe the speed is okay, but we are not actually using the cognitive radio ad hoc networks, which is actually required. And you will be stunned to note that we are not using 4G. In the terms of 4G, the companies are giving you 3G plus. We are not into 4G. Now, everybody,
Okay.
I would like to tell you, very important thing. You will be happy to know that in Da Nang, we are a smart city. I'm living in smart city, everybody, and you can see my phone. It's an iPhone. It is having 5G. Now I would like to tell you, everybody, what is the speed that I'm giving. And after that, you have to guess what bill I give to my telephone operator. And you will be all stunned right now. Stunned, I'm saying you. My speed in my phone is around 38 Mbps, which means if I want to buffer a YouTube video of 4K, there is no latency. And even this 5G is so strong that even I can do a Skype chat, even if I'm traveling in a bus, even in a remote village of Vietnam. And daily I'm getting 10 GB, unlimited free calls across the world. I don't have to pay a bill or any package. I can talk to my mother in a regular call without paying any cost. And I am having unlimited SMSs across the world. Unlimited daily. Now, everybody, I would like to give you a question. How much money per month I'm paying to the Vietnam service provider? Now, give me this answer. Anybody who can give me the guess, you can unmute yourself. Anybody? 5G?
Maybe around, sir, in Indian rupees,
Yes.
500 rupees.
500
per month.
rupees. 500
Sir.
rupees per month. Sir, you are giving me very expensive cost. Very expensive. My speed and my data limit. And next month, I would be like to tell you that next month, government of Vietnam is actually making more than 8 to 25 GB every day. And you will be stunned to know that what is the price that I pay for the bill. I will be typing the price right now. As per Indian currency, I pay the price of 225 rupees. It's 5G. In my internet at my home, it's fiber to the home. And I am getting a speed of 78 Mbps. I can download a 4K movie, which is about 46 GB. I even have, yesterday I've downloaded on torrent, that is Red Dead Redemption 2. It is a 58 GB game on torrent. And believe me, I have able to download that game in 48 minutes. And even I reported to the operator that, sir, speed was not very good. He told me, sir, we will refresh the speed, no problem. And every month it is unlimited fiber to the home. I am giving only 350 rupees as a bill of my internet. That's the smart city, everybody. That's the smart city. So I should continue now. So everybody, Vietnam is one of the country that has already started 5G. We are living in 5G. And in my country, we are also already using the 5G plus. So there is no problem for VoIP and digital calls and other things, because we mostly use Skype and Facebook. It's like free in the world. And even if I go out to my barber for hair cutting, also, even if I go to the shopping mall, the Wi-Fi is like you can say like air, like the air we breathe. You can say air is less, but Wi-Fi will be more in Da Nang city. So you can say that in terms of global spending of infrastructure, you can imagine that the world is coming towards $8 trillion, $8 trillion US dollars. And Vietnam is one of the countries that going to become the second highest internet speed owner and the best mobile operating speed by 2023. Vietnam is a powerful country now. So smartphone subscribers, everybody, and I have already told you that now I have subscribed to 5G. We are using 4G plus over here. And even we are also expecting the VoLTE to hit the market here. But maybe we don't require VoLTE, but we are also doing research with Taiwan for 6G and even for 6G plus. So everybody, this is one of the standard that you will use in terms of IoE, that is LTE-MTC. And LTE-MTC, you can see that the modern complexity relevant to Cat 1, it will be 50%. But if you talk of relevance 13, you can say it is coming down to 25%. Now imagine the speeds of the internet. And of course, in terms of LoRa communication, you can see it is low cost, low throughput, better penetration, 5 to 10 years of long battery life, and add-ons will be D2D and LTE-U. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to tell you that there was a big myth that 5G can ruin this, you can say that is your battery life. I'm using iPhone 12 Pro Max and I'm using 5G from last 4 months. And believe me, I'm happy. My phone battery is actually improved. I'm using iOS 14.4.2, which is the latest. Even 14.5 will hit the market. It will improve the wireless communication standards and 5G also. So the question is, now I have already asked to all of you, 5G is a hype when it is coming. So let me give you an answer, but don't mind for my answer. India is not ready for 5G, or maybe 5G will never come to India in effective speeds. Because why? 5G require huge investment. India is a country where everything is congested. And of course, we don't have the time, we don't have the locations where everybody can afford an antenna after every 15 houses to put on their rooftops. We can't afford that. Maybe India will never become a 5G country by maximum to maximum, you can say by 2030. Or maybe if you can go for 5G plus, when enhancement of antennas, low antennas with omnidirectional communication can come, when we have chip spread spectrum enhanced with LoRa communication, maybe then we can expect that India can go up to 4G, but still 4G needs to be improvised in India. So you can say that by 2020, the 5G product has already started, and you can see that Vivo already, iPhone, Samsung Galaxy S21, and even Samsung Galaxy Note 20, they are already on 5G. And even the next iPhone 13, maybe it was a rumor, but iPhone 13 is not confirmed right now. But the next iPhones will be having 5G plus radio modulation technology. So now let's talk of LoRa. Now that is the important thing. You have the long range, maximum lifetime, multi-usability, and of course, low cost. And that's why everybody, I'm telling you that if you are talking of IoT implementation, you are actually not going to implement sensors and cloud computing. You are actually talking of implementation of a new communication standard. That's why people very less work on communication technology of IoT. Whenever I go to IEEE IoT journal, I'm having 3 papers with 9 impact factor there. You can see my papers. So the only thing when I see the IEEE IoT, even I've talked to editor-in-chief of IEEE IoT, that sir, why don't you focus on more on communication? People are coming with blockchain with IoT, people are coming with security. Why not the people are making some new architecture and new physical schemes for IEEE for IoT-based standard? That is the reason that this research is very, very limited. So you can work on this type of research. So what do you need to deploy LoRa communication? You can see that we need the same sensors, same boards, but the only thing, I will be showing you that board. The only thing is that we have to equip them with one antenna. That is a LoRa antenna. And those antennas will be communicating to the gateway, like this gateway. And this gateway will be having a secure IP connection, whether it's a Wi-Fi, whether it's a 4G or 5G. And that gateway will be giving all the data of these sensors to the cloud. And you can access it to your computer, to your smartphone, and even on remote computers. So this is what you can say, but I will not discuss much mathematics because I'm having limited time with me today. So LoRa is having a physical layer in which we have the chip spread spectrum, which is IEEE 802.15.4a, on which the future vehicular ad hoc network will also is expected to work over there. So LoRa devices will be of 3 types: class A, class B, and class C. So if you talk of today's Wi-Fi, let me tell you, if you just on your Wi-Fi onto your on your smartphone, you get lots of Wi-Fis in your smartphones. That is actually because every Wi-Fi antenna is spreading a beacon frame. That beacon frame consists of SSID of that wireless antenna, and you just connect over there, put your password, and you are connected. So over there, you don't have to get a password or other things because the MAC frames or the MAC address will be called as a beacon frame. So class A will be all the sensors, class B will be battery powered actuators, and of course, number C will be the actuators that will continue to listen continuously, because why? There is no problem of battery drain. 15 to 20 years is an average area where the sensor nodes will work without a problem. Now imagine how much important this network is. Okay, so I have already told you that LoRa will not be a unidirectional, you can say unidirectional communication, that okay, put a sensor, put the data, we are just getting the communication and we are just receiving the data. No, it will be unidirectional, which means you use your computer, you just access your gateway, put the MAC address of the sensor node, and you can even command the sensor node remotely sitting at your home. Maybe with the agriculture farm, if the farmer calls you that, sir, I want that sensor node should give me the temperature data after every 1 minute. You just have to open your laptop, access the gateway, and put your sensor nodes towards pinging, not after 5 minutes, but after 1 minute. And just press enter, restart the network, and it is gone and it is done. It's so simple, like a magic. It's actually known as a high-end software-defined networking. So LoRa mode protocols, this is where I'm working. You can say that we have the data rates up to 50 kbps, but we have solved this problem. I will be showing you. And 3 classes of devices, which is known as class A with bidirectional of 2 receiving antennas, class B bidirectional with additional reschedules RXX, and class C continuous RX. That's why there is no problem of any acknowledgement or sleep and wake problem, nothing. Everything you can say it is all like a total package for communication, advanced communication. Okay, so let's talk of localization. Now, this is where you can say that in terms of sensor network, localization becomes a big problem when it comes to the battery operated nodes. But in terms of LoRa communication, we have tested this scenario on our gateways. Let me show you. Okay, I will show you after some time. So we have got this result, everybody. So the most important thing is that we are able to reduce the error rate of latency and throughput by more than 80%. Almost we can say that latency was gone. Throughput was 100%. And there was even just like you can say 0.1% packet delivery ratio error. Now imagine everybody how much we can put into industrial applications version 4.0. And that is the answer, that how we can make the smart cities communicate better and better. So I just want to show you this thing. So everybody, so this is one of the most important area that is called Segmacom. And this is a company that is actually integrating Femto into LoRa communication. This is most advanced technology in the world. And in this, you can say that if you talk of the future communication, which you talk of connecting the home appliances, additional objects, everything, it enhances the accuracy. Maybe in the future, you will not have the IPTVs, you will have the LoRa IPTVs. Yeah, of course, it is like that. And of course, the low software, low communication bandwidth, everything will be perfect in all sense. And this is the alliance, everybody, that you can just note down this website called LoRa-alliance.org. And very soon that alliance will also cite my paper, which already is accepted with 4.89 impact factor. It is the first paper in the planet that will be that I will be showing you what we have designed. Okay, so these are the members. So I will not come towards this. So before I would like to go ahead with this thing, everybody, I would like to show you something. Can everybody see my camera? Can you see my camera, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Everybody, I would like to show you something that will amaze your mind. Amaze. I'm saying you amazing thing. Can you see this technology today? This box. Can you see? Everybody? Can you type on chat? Everybody? Can you see this? Good.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Good. So what if I tell you, everybody, that this is actually going to be the future? This is what I'm actually making a future sensor node in my hand. What if I tell you, everybody, that this is actually a sensor node, which is actually powered with LoRa? What I have to do, this sensor node, I just have to scatter across the city. They have the internal battery, and this is already charged. And once you are charging it, it can work without any problem for next 6 years. This is actually invented by me. You can work with this for the next 6 years. It is having temperature, humidity, pressure, gas, everything. And all these sensors, like if I scatter 100 sensors, they will be giving all the data to this gateway. Now I will be just adding one 4G or 5G chip on this, and this gateway will be giving all the data from all these nodes in the live manner to the application server. Now this is future, everybody. This is actually known as Internet of Everything ecosystem. This was generation 3. We have actually started from Gen 1 and Gen 2. Now, everybody, I would like to show you something. You can see this company called Dragino. I'm collaborated with them. I'm a regular researcher of LoRaWAN, and they have given me this kit right now. I would like to show you this kit, first of all. This is the kit. I will also show you how to get this kit. This is one of the expensive kit in the world for LoRa. And I'm having, you can see that it is operational at a frequency of 868, and even it is having the frequency of V2X. I have taken a special license from Vietnam government to operate this, because in Vietnam, before you operate LoRa communication, you have to take the license. And I'm the only holder in Vietnam right now, only one professor who is having official license to operate my own frequency. I'm doing my research. So everybody, this is known as the node. This is a LoRa node. And what I have to do, I just have to not connect over here. This is not connected to the internet. I just have to connect this antenna. You can see I'm connecting the antenna right now. So this antenna and this node is now a LoRa node. This node is not going to be having internet over there. This is having the LoRa, you can see. And after that, I just have to place this node over here. And all the sensors which I can connect on GPIOs will be giving the data to this gateway. And this gateway will be connected to the internet, and that you can say with the Things network, I can even give the command via this gateway to this node that, okay, please off the temperature, please on the humidity, please do like this and that, because it is a bidirectional communication, like both ways. And similarly, I can even add more nodes like this, okay? And what we have done, this was the generation 2. This was generation 2. And what we have done, we have minuted the size. You can see that this size is very big. We have minuted the size in this size. And this size contains 2 sensors. It contains 4 sensors. Now imagine, everybody, what is the future? I can make a complete smart city ecosystem with this thing. And now what we are doing, we want to connect an IP camera. PPT, I'm not showing right now. I'm just showing my photo right now, just to see that. So what if I tell you that this thing, just make the smart city IoE ecosystem? Very simple with this type of gateways. And you can see that infrastructure is not very big. Very simple infrastructure. I know my video is very small, so that's why I'm making that. So everybody, what I want to plan, what I'm thinking is that what we can do in terms of communication standards. Now, everybody, I would like to tell you now what we have done recently. The paper is already published. Now, first of all, I would like to show you something. I think my screen is visible. Madam, my screen is visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Now, everybody, you can see this is the patent that has been granted to us last year by Australia. This has been granted patent, and you can see this is LoRa, and this is not like that, okay, we add many people or other thing. This is my student which has made the LoRa, and this has already been approved by Australian government, and now we are applying for the second patent that can work underwater. Now let me show you what we have designed. Everybody, this you are going to see is actually was the generation 1. We have done with generation 2. Now we are on generation 3. This was generation 1, everybody. Watch the video. Everything you will see is in-house development because I'm having my own lab of IoT. Everything that you will see of the sensor node, the communication standard, the Zigbee node, everything we have designed in our in-house. See this, everybody. This is the LoRa sensor node. We will be deploying in the real time. See the clarity and see the interfaces that we have designed. Everything is designed by me. And this is the app also that is also designed by us with cluster. This was generation 1. And everything was solar powered. Now we have made our own ecosystem also for online things. So this was having the application in agriculture, but we don't want to stop here. This was generation 1, but we want to go for advanced thing. Now this is called, everybody, the generation 2. We have improved the design, which means it will also go for underwater monitoring. It will also go for agriculture and industry monitoring. This was generation 2, everybody. Now let me show you the video of this. Now enjoy the video. So you can say these are all Zigbee sensors that are connected by LoRa communication gateway. Everything is designed by us. This is for agriculture, underwater, and even for smart buildings. This is pure IoT communication standard. So we have even designed our Zigbee to LoRa converter also, so that we can improve the range also. And these sensor nodes, everybody can operate up to a range of 37 kilometers. You can see the design, totally industry. And we are just using power bank, one power bank to power them. And everybody, I would like to tell you that all these sensor nodes have Nokia 3310 battery, just Nokia 3310 battery. And what I'm going to tell you right now, that this is the first industry patent. This is the first patent by any professor in the world, apart from industry. This is not, we are the first one to invent our own LoRa communication technological standard. So with this, we can get all the field charts and we can even apply the widgets real time. So this was the invention that we have done in terms of LoRa communication. And believe me, everybody, that we are so proud that we have now given this invention, this Gen 3 invention for US patent. One, we have got a paper in 4.89 impact factor. One, we have got a IEEE paper. We got Australian patent. Now we are applying for US patent. Now, which means that I have done my own protocol. I have done my own standard. And even I have designed. And what if I tell you, everybody, that the speed That was the biggest problem in LoRa communication. The speed that I'm going to declare you right now on the public platform, right now, everybody, the speed that we have tested for more than 700 sensors at one particular point of time, which means if you add this type of node, 700 nodes, which are having 4 sensors, which means more than 2,800 sensors at a range of 35 kilometers, we are getting a staggering speed of 2.7 Mbps, which is the highest in the planet right now. This is my world record that I am having. So that's the US patent that we have done. This was a problem, and this has already been reported to the association. They have agreed for this architecture for mine. This is what we have done in our lab. Now, if you have any question, everybody, if you want to discuss something or want to ask anything, you are most welcome to ask. Please unmute yourself, and you can even talk to me now. Rajni ma'am, my lecture is over.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, if there is any question, you can please ask them. I can show them the ecosystem. I can show them the LoRa communication node. Everything is in front of me. And yes, of course, everybody I forgot to tell you. So if you are working on LoRa communication, so the number one company in the world that you can use is this one, IoT development kit, that is Dragino. So I'm collaborated with this company, and we have even made our own Dragino, which is better than them. So this Dragino and this sensor node can give you a speed of 700 kbps. But our sensor node with this communication standard, it is giving 2.7 Mbps, which is even 3 times better than industry. And this is the association, everybody. If you want to go for DNA of IoT communication, this is called Semtech. This is the company that actually invented LoRa, which was Gen 1, but Gen 2, Gen 3, and Gen 4 invention is with me. And this is the starter kit that you can go for Orange Kit, and you can even go for advanced LoRa communication. And this is where you can go for LoRa communication with the ST Microelectronics. You can go for st.com, and even if you go for this thing called ST Microelectronics, and you can go, and if you go for this one called Sigfox, so you can even go for Sigfox based research. So now everybody, I would like to tell you very soon. Now, what if I tell you that very soon? I'm not saying very far. I am this near. You can see my finger. I'm this near. What if I tell you, everybody, there was a big problem in the world. Big problem. We are just this near. I'm this near. Very this near. I know I will solve this problem. The maximum range in the planet for Sigfox and LoRa, the world record, is 124 kilometers. What if I tell you, everybody, that our initial results are very good, not bad. Our initial results can take this node communication and my own protocol to 575 kilometers. That will be the pioneer research in the planet. That is what I'm doing. I'm this near I'm this near for that. This near. That is actually research that we are doing over here. Now, any questions, everybody? You are most welcome.
Sir, one question regarding this implementation of this LoRa communication, particularly in India. So what do you suggest, sir? Means what sort of things can be done in terms of infrastructure?
Sir, the main important thing is that if you talk of LoRa communication, there is no problem for security and privacy. There is no problem for range. There is no problem for energy. There is no problem for number of sensors, because LoRa is the answer for everything. Okay. So what I believe is that if you are actually working for an ecosystem like smart hospital monitoring, smart city monitoring, smart building monitoring, you go for agriculture, smart infrastructure monitoring, you can have different types of projects for LoRaWAN. So what you have to do, rather than to put the sensors with IoT and only with basic communication, you just put the same sensors with LoRa's communication standard, which means the existing thing can be improved to the next level. long range, better thing, and of course, security and privacy, which means if you go for this type of sensor without LoRa, you have the problem of eavesdropping, you have the problem of man-in-middle attack. But if I add this type of antenna, the data becomes AES encrypted with the 256 bit, which means it is already there. There is no jitter problem, there is no attenuation problem, there is no long range problem, no battery problem, no problems at all. We have already solved these problems. Have you got the answer, sir? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Any other question, please? Yes, of course, it will be a revolution, everybody, because I don't say that I have achieved that. I'm again saying you, I am this near, I'm saying. Okay, so I have already answered this question, how security is considered in this tech, because I've already told you that we are using chip spread spectrum. And for the security of communication of data between the sensor node to the gateway, and from the gateway to the application server, it is AES encrypted. AES means 256 bit. So that's why AES 256 bit, a hacker cannot attack that. You can't have because everything is encrypted. And what if I tell you, everybody, now this, of course, I would like to declare this thing also. What if I tell you that me and my team, because I'm also blockchain researcher, and if you have any question on blockchain, you can even ask me right now. What if I tell you that I will also try to implement SHA 256 bit, which is actually the blockchain security, which means the blockchain level security between the node as well as the LoRa communication, which means no hacking will be possible. It will be the most secured communication standard in the planet. We are also working on that. We are improving the communication standards. That's my dream, to add blockchain in LoRa communication. So you can say that it is looking like a futuristic sci-fi novel, but of course it will be reality in next 5 months. When the paper will be online this month, you can all see from my scholar. That is going to be the first paper in the planet for that. And you have already seen this one. The patent is already there. You can see this is my Australian patent. You can see the number also. So this is me and this is my student. We are the two inventors for this LoRa communication system, which you can see, LoRa Zigbee hybrid communication system. Okay. So 4 sensors are integrated. No, there is no problem in the sensors, because the sensor module is already very, very strong. But if there is any problem in coding or anything, we can fix the code of Python code remotely. Just I need a laptop and I just need me. That's all. With just a laptop and internet, I can access my network anywhere in the planet. It's bi-directional. Class A, Class B, and Class C. That is pure IoT, where we actually implement in the real time. Okay, sir, whether only short communication communicated or size messaging can be done. Of course, because you have the sensor data like temperature sensor or other thing, so only limited data type can be there, which means only bytes of messages can be there. But yes, of course, in the near future, we can also think that how we can communicate bigger messages like that. We can have some walkie-talkie based LoRa communication. So even I am making my own walkie-talkie. Right now, it is not in my lab right now. Okay, maybe next time I should show you my walkie-talkie also. That is also on LoRa, because I actually make devices. I'm a computer scientist. I make devices. I make things like that. Yeah, that can be, but not very much. Any other question? Okay, everybody. So if you really want to be in touch with me, let me first of all give you my email address. This is my email address, my website. Just go to Google and you can search my name. My name is itself a search in Google now. Okay. And if you are interested, if you want to follow my drone photography, you want to follow my photos, everything, go to Instagram and search my name. And if you want to connect me on LinkedIn, because I don't use Facebook much, just search me on LinkedIn as Anand Nair. Thank you so much. And yes, my WhatsApp number will be only WhatsApp. So thank you so much. Over to you, Rajni ma'am.
Thank you very much, sir. It was really an informative session. Both the sessions were brainstorming. And we are glad to have you today as a resource person. It was full of knowledge. I'm sure that some of our participants have found their research areas from your sessions. So now, on behalf of A.J. Patil Institute of Technology, I thank you for your guidance and sharing your research and valuable time from your busy schedule. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
And I'm also thankful to all the participants for their enthusiastic participation. With permission, you, sir, I declare that this session is over.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. And if there is, and please, madam, write an email to me if you want the ebook of my drones. And if anybody wants these website links also, I will give you the email. PDF form, a PDF of ebook will be given to you, but just write an email to me. I will return the email back to you.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, everybody. We will see you next time. And if possible, I have given madam a request that if possible, ma'am, that we can have one more session on Sunday or maybe Saturday. That will be on flying ad hoc networks or maybe the future transportation system. If possible,
Yes, sir.
we can have that. If
Okay.
possible, it is.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm posting the attendance link here once again in the chat box, and the feedback link will be shared in the your WhatsApp group. Hello.